And what I don't appreciate is these people coming down here, parking, spending their time, leaving their jobs, whatever, to be disrespected when over 100 people tell us what to do and one says no. We do what they tell us to do. We were elected by them. Y'all are disrespectful to our constituents.
And your disrespect for our staff is one of the most abhorrent things I have ever seen. Be quiet now.
They don't have to be quiet.
Be quiet.
They can respond.
Yes, you do. Remove
They
him.
can respond. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? When I have the microphone, I have the ability.
This is Black Girls Politickin. I'm Michaela. Today we are politicking with Commissioner Alisa Simmons from Tarrant County. Commissioner Simmons, welcome to the pod.
Why, thank you so much.
Absolutely. So for individuals who may not be familiar with you or your work, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am a county commissioner in Tarrant County. So a county commissioner runs the county. It sets the tax rate. It approves the budget. County commissioners are responsible for oversight of the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office, the public health department, elections, you name it, the county hospital. One of our large responsibilities is building and maintaining roads and bridges in the unincorporated areas of the county. So those parts of the county that are not in a city. So a lot of people don't really, they hear about city councils and school boards, but they don't hear much about county commissioners. And we have a lot of responsibility, a lot of fiduciary power. Like in Tarrant County, the 5 members of the Commissioners Court manage a budget of about almost $1 billion. Wow. And so, yeah, and when you look at your ballot, you'll see that commissioners are the next to the last race on the ballot, but have more power than just about any of those other races on the ballot.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that you say that. We just started a Back to Basics series on the platform, because one question we continued to get was, what do members of Commissioners Court, what do the county judges, what do they actually do? And it's a role, and I tell people it's one of, if not the most important role that a public servant could be in, because there's so much to manage, right? Like, you're managing people, but you're also managing a lot of money and oftentimes really big populations. And so this is something that we're working very diligently to get people educated on, because a lot of people just don't know.
So Texas has 254 counties. Okay. Each county has a 5-member commissioners court, and it's called a court, but it's not a court. I mean, it's not a judicial court. It's just like a council or, the board of trustees. The court is some old 1800s term that they use for commissioners, bodies in Texas. And there are 4 commissioners elected in a district. Like I'm the precinct 2 or the district 2 commissioner. Commissioner Roderick Miles is the precinct 1 commissioner. But then there is a 5th member of the commissioners court. It's the county executive. It's kind of like the mayor of a city council. And in county terms, it's called the county judge. It's not a judicial position. You don't have to be a judge, a lawyer. Like I said, it's like the mayor. And that seat is elected by everybody, voted upon by everybody in the county.
Yes, absolutely. And that context is really important, especially as we continue into our questions. So one thing that I'm curious about, right? You've had to work alongside colleagues with whom you've publicly disagreed with, right? How do you balance standing firm on your principles? Because you have incredible principles. And like I said, I've done a lot of research on you and your work while still building, right, the relationships that you need to govern effectively, especially if you were to win this race in particular.
So I just keep focused on I'm here to serve the people. I don't care about these people that sit on side of me, right? I am here to serve the people. I'm not here for politics. I'm not here for Democratic politics or Republican politics. Um, these people that I serve have family members in jail. They have family members who die in jail or get killed in jail unjustly. They can count on me to support them, try to get answers to why their loved one died at the county hospital or the county hospital, to get answers as to why their loved one with behavioral or mental health issues aren't getting the services they need from our MHMR department. That's the kind of leader I am. I don't give a shit about my colleagues. Um, if they want to get along, great. If they don't, that's okay because I'm here to serve the people, and that's the bottom line. Plus, I'm 62, and so I I don't I'm beyond um, caring about impressing or getting along. I've never been a go along to get along person. I'm just here to serve the people because at the end of the day, before I was elected, before I was NAACP president, I was just an average citizen who, if my recycle and trash didn't get picked up the day after a holiday, I'm calling the city.
Yeah.
So I expect service. I've always been that type of citizen. And so I feel like people can expect that from me as their elected official to serve them, get them answers, and to tell them, yes, that's my philosophy. My philosophy is to tell my constituents yes as much as I can. If the county can provide it, if the county can do it, then my answer is yes.
Awesome. So I'm curious, you're a woman that has pivoted, right? So tell me a little bit about your path from journalism to public safety into elected office. What experiences do you believe throughout your career has best prepared you to run Tarrant County as county judge?
Well, again, I am old, and so I've I've had some experiences. I started out, went to college, was a journalist for about 12 years, and then transitioned into uh, public safety, 911,
Mhm.
and then went back and got into journalism a little bit. And then I had a boss call about an opening for a PR director at the Tarrant County 911 district. And I said, oh, this is good because I had young kids and, working at Channel 8 early in the morning or late at night, with kids, it was tough. So I was able to get that PR director job over the Tarrant County 911 district, and I worked there for 18 years. So as a public safety communications administrator, working with all of the cities in Tarrant County to ensure that their 911 systems and networks and dispatch services were always working and communicating to the public about technological advancements with 911. So I've worked with all of the cities in Tarrant County for 18 years. I've been a purchasing agent, a fiduciary, just a good long history with the 911 district. And then plus, I've always been active in my kids' school and in the community. I've been on countless boards and commissions and things like that, and was president. I think the highlight of my volunteer life was being president of the Arlington NAACP for 10 years and serving citizens in that capacity opened my eyes even more. And I decided to run for office. I've run for office a number of times and won this seat for county commissioner. But I decided to run for office because I got sick of asking the powers that be, the mayors, the police chiefs, the school superintendent, to consider my people in my community. Why do I always have to convince them that the African American community or African American children or African American senior citizens or African Americans without transportation in a city like Arlington that doesn't have mass transportation? Why do I have to keep convincing them to consider us? And so I felt like I needed to be at the table, and I started running for office. Before this seat, I ran for the Texas House of Representatives, House District 94, and barely lost that race and said, okay, I'm done running for office. And I hate campaigning and all of that. But here I am. I decided to run for this seat because there was a sister that was sitting in this seat before me, and she served one 4-year term, and toward the end of her term she decided she had had enough and she was not going to serve again. So the precinct 2 seat became open, and I ran for it and won.
And one, I love that. And I love that you highlight your time as NAACP president.
Oh
I was
yes.
an NAACP college president, and it has also been the highlight of my life. It was, listen, now I tell people, if you have never been the president of an organization, especially one like NAACP, Commissioner Simmons is keeping it cute. I'm not a county commissioner, so I can tell y'all, it's
uh-uh.
the honor of a lifetime.
It is. It
But they're gonna
is.
make you
I
work
miss.
for it.
Yes, they'll make you work for it, and I'm still on the board, but because of this role, I
Absolutely.
just can't do as much as I've done. But I love my NAACP always and forever. I still go to the conferences, the trainings, and it just it better prepared me for this role right here. It
It
really
really
did.
does. Yeah, it'll get you whipped into shape.
Oh, that's right. And the support from, my local presidents, because they're my friends,
Yeah,
and then state president Gary Bledsoe and national president Dr. Or Mr. Derek Johnson. They have my back. They're always looking out for me. And when I have had it, I know that I can call them.
absolutely. So I'm thinking about your time as county commissioner, and you've talked about some of your personal accomplishments, but I'm curious, what is the accomplishment that you're most proud of in this seat that you're currently sitting in? And there's a lot to pick from, so I'm curious.
Well, at first I didn't think, probably my first 2 years, I was like, these people are voting down every initiative I bring, right?
Mhm.
And so I thought, why am I here? What impact am I? They vote down everything that me and Commissioner Brooks at the time would bring to the court. But you're right. There is a lot to be proud of in this 4th year in this seat. And while I may not have gotten a lot passed, I have heightened awareness throughout this county, Dallas Fort Worth, this state, about what is happening in Tarrant County, which is the last largest red county in the country. Um, we have 69 elected county officials in Tarrant County. So think justices of the peace, the county clerk, the district clerk, the sheriff. We have 69 elected officials, and only 7 of them, I think 7 of us, are Democrats.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's hard to get anything done over here. But some of the accomplishments, I'm an organizer, right? You and I are organizers. We know how to get people involved and engaged and get them together. It's what we did as NAACP leaders. And so I'm proud of the fact that I have been able to build relationships with a large number of community members, and that they are paying attention to Commissioners Court. There's not hardly a meeting anymore in which we are not at capacity.
Wow.
And think about that. That's a typically boring governmental meeting.
I've been to plenty of them, so yes.
Who wants to go sit at Commissioner's Court or school board, and you look in the audience and there are a couple people there, and they're usually got complaints about something. But I work very, very closely with just a diverse range of members of the community, white, Latino, Black, and we're all together. We're not in silos. And I'm them. I'm not a commissioner that sits high up here. I'm them. So I meet with them. They created the People's Commissioners Court because the real Commissioners Court is Judge O'Hare is always shutting them down and tossing them out and disrespecting them. So they created the People's Commissioners Court, and I attend People's Commissioners Court. My staff goes when I can't go. Everybody has my number. We get the draft agenda. I make sure they have the draft agenda in advance because when the agenda comes out, it's super long and it's hard for the public to go through that whole thing in a weekend and be ready for a Tuesday meeting. And we've gone to one meeting a month. Tarrant County is the third largest county in Texas. It's the 14th largest county in the country. It's 2.2 million. It's a large county. For us to have one meeting a month is simply irresponsible.
Yeah.
We've got contracts to review and approve. We've got vendors to pay. We've got so much to approve. Nothing gets done in a county without the approval of the Commissioners Court. And so we've irresponsibly gone to one meeting a month. So you can imagine when that agenda comes out, there's a lot on it. And so, hey, I'm like, y'all, the agenda's out. And this is what I got so far, so they can get to studying on it. So that's one of my big accomplishments. Just this past Friday, I was able to do a groundbreaking for an affordable housing development that is on county land. And it's some county land they've had since the beginning of time, about 4 acres, and it was just sitting there. So I'm able to put some affordable housing on that land. And just there's so many other things, but I think it's the relationship building and organizing. Like you said, there are so many things. Getting us out of a $40 million contract. We were sending our inmates, because of overflow, or we had too many inmates. We were sending them to Garza County, a private prison outfit in Garza County. And that contract was a 2-year, $40 million contract. And that facility had failed some Texas jail standard codes and things like that. And I said, we're paying $40 million to send our inmates there. This is a waste of taxpayer dollars. And the Republicans had to agree with us Democrats. And so we were able to get that contract severed and save the county that much money, despite the sheriff saying, where am I going to put all these people? Well, quit arresting people for less than 2 ounces of weed. How about that?
Thank you.
Give them a ticket, let them come back, have their day in court. Let's do some basic stuff like that. So
thank you.
There's some things to be proud of.
Let's look at options. Let's be creative. Let's be innovative. They want to lock people up for anything and everything. And then they're like, we're overcrowding. Yeah, because you pick people up for anything and everything.
Well, yeah, but the more you have in there, it's law and order,
Absolutely.
It's law and order.
Absolutely.
Just what Trump and that ilk want to prove.
Absolutely. Now, one thing you did not mention, so I'm going to mention it for you.
Oh,
So, the Commissioner's Court recently tabled a proposal that would have significantly reduced, because it just happened. I'm like, you didn't even mention
girl,
it.
oh my God, I'm so sick of that. But go ahead.
That would have significantly reduced the number of election day polling locations in Tarrant County. Now, you have been extremely outspoken, and I will tell you, your post on Instagram was actually the first post that I saw about the situation that was taking place out there. So you are actively and continually updating people. I live in Harris County, so I'm like, it's not my business, but it is my business, right?
It
Because
is.
you're impacting people's ability to exercise their right to vote. So I'm curious, what concerns you most? And of course, I watch Commissioner's Court. I think everybody in the state of Texas was watching because we know and we want to keep up with what's going on in our sister counties. But you've been very outspoken about this issue. What concerns you most about the polling locations, and what would you have done differently if you were the county judge?
Sure. There's no need to severely cut polling places. So to go from, I think it was 316 in midterm 2022 to 176 in midterm 2020, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop the madness. That's voter suppression. You've
Right.
had population growth, or at least y'all redistricted my seat because you said the population grew, right? But now you're going to cut back on polling places
Yeah.
by 45%. It's it's voter suppression, it's cheating, it's racism, because I can send you the list of polling places from 2022 to 2026 and what got cut, and they are in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
Two in South Lake, one in Keller, one in Grapevine, up in the Northeast, where the very, very well-to-do majority population live. But most of those polling places were cut in Black and brown neighborhoods. And that's just not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to, it's not even acceptable to anybody,
Mm-mm.
white, Black, whatever. Everybody, as you saw from Commissioner's Court, you saw the races of the speakers. It was a very diverse speaker cadre, and because we know it's wrong. And so what you do is you can, the elections administrator's role and the court, it's ultimately our decision. It is our role to look at turnout at those locations. If there's a need to eliminate or consolidate, yes, do that. But you don't wholesale come in and cut 45% of the polling places with no methodology. How'd you get here?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get here? And who told you, elections administrator, to do this? There's, ask any commissioner's court. The commissioners make that decision. And so what he should have done differently, and what I attempted to do with him way back in May, send me your proposed list of cuts. Well, ma'am, I haven't gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you keep putting me off and putting me off. Then we get to August 4th, and you miraculously have a list. I can't explain much about your methodology. And how you got here, and expect me to approve this. So as soon as we got the draft agenda, I let the activists and advocates know, and all of the associations and organizations, and they showed up and they did it. They were able to convince this court, which the balance of power lies with the three members of the MAGA party.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't care if we get 2,000 people down there to speak. They are going to vote in according to their political party. They're not going to vote according to what their constituents are down there telling them. But on Tuesday, August 4th, they succumbed to the voices of the people. And so I'm so proud of the people who typically when the county judge hears somebody clap or say amen or, make an affirmative comment to a speaker, he kicks them out. And he'll say, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to clear the courtroom. Well, he said it this time, and the people said, I don't care. They start clapping, they start cheering, and they did not succumb to that this time. They said, throw us out. And so they stood up to that bullying. Can you imagine bullying the people that pay the taxes in this county?
I see it. Yeah, I can imagine.
He does it. This was not he does it every meeting. He is tossing somebody out because instinctively they might clap after a good remark. And he's telling sheriff's deputies, remove that woman in the green.
Wow.
Remove that person. And so they stood up to him this time. They came, they spoke truth to power. They were forceful. They were fearless. And even those first-time speakers that I talked to before and after, they said they were so nervous, but after they spoke, they felt good. And I said, you all changed the outcome, at least for the moment. So we voted to table the motion to alter those lists, to cut the polling list. We'll come back September 1st, and everybody needs to come back in even larger numbers.
Absolutely.
Because trust me, you cannot count on these people. They will cut these polling places. Doesn't matter what they're saying in the media now. And I kind of think they might be saying it to convince people, oh, you don't have to come back September 1st. Mm-hmm. Come back. You can never count on those three.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. You can count on them to not vote the way their constituents tell them to vote.
Yeah, which is interesting to me because at the end of the day, you have to answer to the people. And so the hope is that when the time comes, people will step up and they will vote those people out.
Yes. So
that's the hope. Yeah. So you are hosting the 92% Black Women's Breakfast, where you are bringing together electeds, community leaders, candidates. What inspired you to create this event, and what do you hope attendees walk away with?
We need a place. We need to get together and talk.
Absolutely.
I'm in too many different text groups and trying to answer too many questions. And what can I do to help get you and the others elected? We have a great Democratic slate here of folks of all races, but we do have a good number of African American women running for judicial seats, mm-hmm. for the district attorney seat, and for the county judge seat. We do have some brothers running too. We must get them elected. We've got to, especially to flip this court. We've got Dr. Jarrett Williams running for my precinct 2 seat. And so we got to keep this seat and get the county judge seat. But yes, for the 92% Black Women's Breakfast, hey, we needed a place to convene. And so what I always do things with a goal in mind. And what I want people to walk away with are concrete actions that they can take to help get us elected. We're going to be looking at data. They're going to walk away with data. They're going to learn that we need 40,000. We just need 40,000 additional votes over what we got in the primary. And all of us up and down that Democratic ballot will win in Tarrant County and flip this county from red, purplish to blue. And so they're going to walk away with, this is what you need to do. If you can't block walk on this date, then you can phone on these dates. You can phone bank. If you can't phone bank, you can stamp postcards. You're going to have to help us. If you can't stamp postcards, you can work the polls, but you are going to have to text and you're going to have to get your friends out. You've got to get your friends, families, neighbors out. If everybody gets 10 to 40 people out, they focus on those people in their lives. I win, we go back to having, we go to having a commissioner's court, a county judge who respects her constituents, who understands that everybody that comes to commissioner's court, they're not coming down there to tell you that the county is doing a good job. They're generally coming with complaints, and you've got to have the fortitude and the stomach to take it. When people come down there and say, the county's screwing up doing this, how are you going to fix it, commissioner's court? If they say it's bullshit that all these people are dying in the jail, this county judge won't kick them out. They get to say bullshit. It's profanity is protected speech, and they don't have to be kicked out of the courtroom because they are passionate about whatever issue it is they're bringing to us. And so, under Judge O'Hare, we've eliminated immunization programs. We've cut the county hospital's tax rate, so much so that it is affecting their revenue stream. The county hospital serves people that look like me and you, those considered the least of these low-income people. And so why are we slashing their tax rate, which, by the way, they hadn't raised in 10 years. Wow. And so we keep slashing it, and that affects their revenue. So just so much needs to happen. And this county, the current county judge, has taken pride in slashing those programs, getting rid of our human services department. They eliminated our entire human services department.
Oh my God.
Which doled out rental assistance and utility assistance for senior citizens, hygiene products. It's gone. And so that's why you need a county judge like myself who cares. I've never voted to raise the tax rate or taxes. I don't see that we're in a position where we need to do that right now, unless I think they're going to cut the county tax rate again, and that's going to put us in a big financial predicament. So the 92% breakfast, we're going to give people concrete actions. We're going to show them the data. We're going to show them how absolutely close we are to getting more judges on the bench. We have no Democrat judges on a bench in Tarrant County. Every judge on every criminal court, family court, district court, any court, all of our judiciary are Republicans. And so we've got some strong sisters who are running for those seats. And so we've got to get them elected. If I don't get elected, we got to get them elected. Absolutely. We've got to get a new district attorney elected. We must. And so we're going to stress the importance of that. We're going to have a couple of panels with the judicial candidates, because people don't think of those races all the time.
Absolutely.
But I tell you who they call when their son or cousin or nephew or somebody's in that jail. They call the county commissioner. And at that point, there's nothing I can do about it. It's about who we have on those benches.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're going to explain that to people and make sure they know how important these seats are. And it's not just the county judge seat, it's those others, like I said.
Yeah. And before we pivot into the last question, that's something else that we've been working to get people to understand, is that there are a lot of individuals that want to get involved. I see the messages every day, but they genuinely don't understand what a lot of these seats do. So they don't know how they impact their day-to-day life. Civics is not what it used to be in schools anymore, so they're not getting the information there. So I think even the way that you've been able to explain it is very important, because people don't know, like, by the time someone has gone through the process, you think, oh, well, let me call my commissioner. And it's like, it's too late for me to step in. So a lot of people don't understand that impact.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've got white sister Lydia Bean. She's running for county clerk. Nobody nobody knows what a county clerk does. But that job, that position, the elections administrator, falls under the county clerk.
Yes. Yep.
And so that you got to know that. And so she I don't know what type of input she had over this debacle we just had Tuesday, but we've got to have the right people in the right seats so that we are serving the people, not so we're doing democratic politics,
Absolutely.
not so that we're cheating, but so that we're not cheating anymore in the county. Yeah, you have to have people who care about serving and about their constituents. So and so we're gonna define those roles for people uh, and really explain what they do and the importance of them, and then how we're so close. And we've got to get everybody we can to the polls, and we've got the numbers. You heard Congresswoman Crockett say over and over that her aim was to get the African American voters to the polls because we're registered. We're registered. We're just not getting to the polls.
Absolutely.
And so we don't need to go and try to persuade Republicans to vote for us. We need to convince those Democrats, those African Americans, those Latinos, y'all are registered. Go vote, and we win.
Absolutely.
We win.
Yeah, absolutely. We see that in Harris County. We look at the numbers and I'm like, we're all here. We're just not making it to the polls. That's what's happening. They're just not making it. So I have a final question for you before we close. It is election day. A voter walks into the booth. Why are they choosing you as the next county judge for Tarrant County?
Because I'm accessible. My philosophy is always yes. If the county can do it, if it's financially makes sense, fiscally makes sense, I am here to make sure that my constituents are served. Like I said, I think I said earlier, I'm just a regular old citizen. I know how I like to be treated by the governments that I pay my taxes to, the city, the school board, the community college district, the county, the water district. And so that's how I treat people. I'm about affordability for families. We can see our eviction numbers are sky high in Tarrant County. And that's why we've got to get justice of the peace candidates elected to the bench so they can not just evict them like a lot of our justices of the peace are doing, but they can get to the bottom of the problem. We've got people who need rental assistance, and then we've got a Tarrant County Appraisal Board. We've gone to appraisals every 2 years. It is insanity here. And so you can count on me to level set all of that. This current court, we're deficit spending. Our sheriff forgot to budget for overtime. So as soon as the budget went into effect, fiscal year 2026 last October and November-ish, we were dipping into reserves for $7 million because how do you forget
what in the world?
to budget for overtime? So you can count on me to right size our fiscal situation, and just responsible, reasonable governance from somebody who cares and who knows to consult with experts who can help us do the right things in the county. I will listen to our colleagues, mental health, affordable housing, affordability, all of that are important to me. And there's so many things we could be doing, but this county for the past 3.5 years has wasted time cutting programs and trying not to do those things that benefit our taxpayers. It's just weird to me. So service is what it should be about. I don't know why people run for these seats if you're not trying to serve the people. Like, what are you doing? So
Yeah.
that's
the
what they
question that he's answering. What are you doing?
it is. And another thing, people, I always like to remind people that when they go to the polls, hopefully they will vote early. Early voting is October
Please.
19th
Yes.
through 30th. Don't wait till November 3rd. Vote October 19th through 30th and vote all the way down the ballot from the top to the bottom. Those judicial candidates, they come before me. Down the ballot is the county judge and the commissioners, and then that's probably it. So we need people to familiarize yourself with who's running, because I don't want you to get to the bottom of the ballot and go, well, I don't know that name, so I'm just going to skip it. Don't do that. People are going to go vote for Gina and James and Vicky and those people, and then because those people can afford to buy millions of dollars worth of TV ads. Us down here at the bottom of the ballot cannot. And so those of us at the bottom of the ballot, you can get me on the phone. It's real easy. You can't get James Tallarico on the phone. You can't get Gina Hinojosa on the phone. You can't get Governor Abbott on the phone. And so that's what people need to know. Local elected officials are available to you, and they work better for you. And so vote down the ballot.